Hey y'all, welcome to the Style Chronicles. I wanted to share with you guys my NYX color correcting concealer palette because I've had it for some time. You can see I've worn these shades down. I don't use these shades, but I've had it since the birth of my daughter because I needed help in the correcting concealing department. My concealer was not cutting it, and I love my concealer. It's like my absolute favorite. It conceals so well, but I just needed kind of that extra help after my daughter was born, because I wasn't getting any sleep at night, and I like a very light, bright under eye. So this is pretty darn great. It's got every corrector you need, and what I really like about it is these tones are next to each other. In concealing palettes, you will see the purple over here, the green over here, the yellow in the middle, and all these other crazy colors. And what I like is this puts them next to each other. Okay, so yellow cancels out purple or blue. Purple cancels out yellow. So you see how they're next to each other? Easy to remember that. These two, red cancels out green and green cancels out red. Now I know this is not red, this is kind of a salmon corrector, which is great for darkness under the eyes. That's what I use pretty much every day. But we will call it red because it does have that salmon color in it, and that salmon undertone is pretty much red. So that's why you use a red salmon pinkish concealer. So they're right next to each other, which makes it super easy to remember because, like I said, in some palettes the colors are all crazy, and yeah, it's hard to remember what to use what for. So since these are next to each other, you can always remember these two cancel each other out and these two cancel each other out. So bam, you look at your skin and you say, I've got red here, I need to go green. Or I've got a lot of yellow around my eye, or maybe your under eyes, or maybe you have a bruise and it's yellow. Bam. So there you go. These two are an extension of this. This is considered the light, not so much the salmon, but on me, this is salmon based. It's not light by any means because I am very fair. This is not fair. This is a light concealer which has a lot of salmon color in it. So this would be your light, your medium, and your dark. And these two I do not use. I have not used the lavender yet either, the purple, because I'm not yellow. Well, I mean, I am yellow undertoned, but I don't have yellow darkness or areas on my face, so I really don't need to use that. But these two are by far awesome in coverage. Also, my plans to use these are to contour with and then to blend the contour out. I have yet to do that. You can tell I have not even dipped into the pans. These are the ones that I use pretty much every day. So this one for like a red spot that I have here, and then these two under my under eyes. So I will show you guys how I use those. They go on really, really well. A lot of times correctors and your concealer will not work together. Your corrector will go on, your concealer will just slide over it or crease or make it look really, really weird. This works very well with my MAC concealer that I wear every single day, so I'm really liking the combination. And I think when you find a combination that works for you, you kind of have to stick with that because, like I said, it doesn't pill, it doesn't crease, it doesn't do anything crazy. And the deal with correctors is you put them on, you're going to see them. You're not supposed to blend correctors into your skin because they disappear. You're supposed to put them on and then go over them with a layer of makeup. So if you do the crazy purple thing or the crazy green thing somewhere on your face and you've got this patch of color, and then you go over with your skin colored concealer, it neutralizes it completely. So that is the purpose of a corrector. It goes on first, it's your base layer, not supposed to be blended out. The concealer goes on top, and you literally patting the concealer on and blending the edges so that it fuses everything together neatly. So yeah, I'll show you. So first things first, I'm going to take the green shade that you see right there, and I'm going to get it on a little brush, and this is a Morphe lip brush. It came in a collection where they're all this color with a pink brush. So I'm going to get it onto the tip of this brush, and I'm going to put it right here where I have that pimple that won't go away. I just place it on top. And then for my under eye, which you can see is really dark, I'm going to take that salmon shade. So this is you have your green, your yellow, your purple, light, medium, and dark. And actually first I'm going to take the yellow to neutralize, and I'm going to put that under here like so. And I do have brushes that I use, or Sometimes your finger is just the best. Even though you do have to wipe it off, so I always have to have a towel for my finger. And then I just put this in here, right there, where I need coverage. And you can see already how it's lightened up that area. I'm not even near being done. And then I'm going to take that light kind of salmon pinkish color, and that's going to go right on top. And what I do with that is that kind of cancels out the yellow. And you can see how bright that looks. Now, I don't do the yellow every day. The yellow I primarily just do whenever I have a lot of blue or green underneath there. And from day to day, it changes. Some days I have a lot of blue, and you can see it looks blue. Some days it's just purple. Some days it's just straight up dark. It's not blue or purple. It's just like a redness under there. So it's kind of what's on my eyebrow just kind of travels around my eye, on my eyelid travels around my eye. So that's that. And you can see it's not set, it's not blended in. This is just popped on there. I did not do anything else to my face. The other thing you can do is if you have a lot of red veins, you can see my eyelid. My eyelids always have a ton of red veins. You can take that green from the concealer corrector palette and swipe that on your lid as kind of a base, and it will neutralize any of those red veins that might show through. And I know this is kind of odd. You're going to look like you have a lot of colors on your face, but that's what correctors are. That's what they are about. And there we go. I used to use a green eyeshadow base from Merle Norman like a million years ago. And I just recently threw the tube out because I did, get the NYX concealer corrector, but that was a really great item to have on hand for days when my eyelids were not cooperating, because it changes, like I said, from day to day. Some days are greater than others in terms of my skin is working with me and doing what I like, and some days it's just horrible. So that is where we're at. Now, I'm not blending anything in. You can see I just tapped that on my lid. It's all thrown up there weird. Under here is all weird. This is just kind of like, I'm green on top of a red dot. I'm going to go apply my foundation. And I just put it right on top. I don't blend. I just go right over everything with foundation. And then I'll go in with concealer and just conceal my under eyes. And that is it. So let me go do that, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm using the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 Foundation Sunscreen number 825, which I believe is Buff Beige, which is 2 shades darker than I thought I would be. I thought it was going to be a classic ivory or a ivory or creamy natural ivory or something like that. But when I Googled NC15 and color matches for this 3-in-1 Outlast, this one came up as one of the ones to try. So while it oxidizes a bit too yellow and goes on a bit too pink, it does match my skin fairly well for a drugstore foundation. And the formulation of it is amazing. I love the foundation in general. It's getting the shade correct that I'm having a little bit of a trouble with. So I think I'm going to go back and get Creamy Natural and maybe try and mix it and see how that goes. But it has a pump, and it's got that nice CoverGirl smell. Let me put some on the pump. This is too plasticky, but this is glass. And so it's got a decent packaging if you take the top off. The top just, it rattles, yeah, gets on my nerves. So, and it was like $9.74, I think, exact. And so this is all I do with the foundation. I just go in, and under here where I applied that corrector, I just tap like that. Notice how I'm not blending. Right here over the green, I'm not blending. I'm just patting my foundation into my face. Same thing on this other side. I just went over what I initially did. Over here, I'm not swirling. I swirl here to blend. When you swirl, you remove a little bit more product, and I like heavy coverage in here because I've got some freckles that I cover every day. So then I go over the green that I did on my lids, and I'm just kind of not buffing or anything, just patting once again. And then I go over my forehead. And my forehead I will blend because I don't need a lot of coverage on my forehead. If it was not for the marks that I have on my actual cheeks, I don't think I would wear foundation because I really don't. I don't need it here, and I don't need it here. It is primarily right in here, and it's just like a mask that's over my nose and over the sides of my cheeks, and that is it. And then of course it helps to blend, oh, that got really, really light, didn't it? It helps to blend out your concealer underneath your lower eye. Okay, and then of course you have to go around and blend into your hairline. So that is one way that you do blend. But everywhere else, you noticed I just tapped it in. So that is it. Hey, okay. I'm gonna go do the rest of my face. Okay, so I wanted to show you my concealer after I've done my foundation, and I did my foundation and then I did my eyebrows and I went in and did my eyeshadow. And so my concealer, I just go in with the Pro Longwear, the MAC Pro Longwear, and this is shade NW15. I use NC15 on my skin and NW under my eye because it's a little bit more pink, so it cancels out any darknesses. So it's always kind of, I have to buy both shades. So anyway, I go in and if you can see, ooh, there you go. Can you see where I put it? I put it all right in there. And that is just on top of the foundation, so it's the corrector, then I did a layer of foundation, and then I do the concealer. And once the concealer's on, you try not to mess with it. It pretty much, the product is heaviest here, that's where I apply first, and then I blend with the brush, I kind of feather it out. So, excuse me, can't get over that cough. Then I will set the powder with my Nye Cameo powder and my Real Techniques setting brush. Okay, so here we go, and for that I'm just going to tap the concealer into place. And if I do my concealer after I've done my eyeshadow, even if it's for every day like this, and I use this is my concealer, like every day, whether I'm dressed up or not, that's the concealer I use. If I do it after I've done my eyeshadow, I can get a really nice, do you see that? How the edge is really nicely kind of, it looks like, you know, when you use tape, you get a very fine edge. So, and then I go in with the setting powder and I just set right in here. Okay, and then the same thing over here. Really, you're just patting it in, and then this is the area that you blend out. This always goes up, and then I blend that. But under here is where I want the majority of the product to remain, so I don't blend. I just pat it in so that it sets into the skin. Same thing, all right in here. That's where all my darkness is. That's where I don't want any product to come up. And then I go in and set with my setting powder. So, and like I said, regardless of what foundation I use for the day, because it changes, I will use this MAC Pro Longwear concealer and this setting powder together. That's like my everyday combination, because that's what works for my dark circles. So there we go. Now I'll go and apply the rest of my face, my blush, my mascara, and come back and talk to you guys again. Okay, so this is my finished face, and after I evened out my concealer and set it, which I did on camera, I went back and I applied my, what's this called? Blush. Excuse me. It's my blush. This is my Tarte blush in Savored, and it's a really pretty kind of, just, I don't know, it's not like bright pink, it's not plum though, it's not really mauve, it's just there. I don't know. It's just there. I don't know. It's a pretty kind of neutral kind of blush, if you will. So I applied that to the apples of my cheeks right here. And then I went in, and yes, I'm applying more blush because I'm looking on camera and I feel like I need more, which might make me look like a clown every day, but oh well, for the sake of the video, I'm putting more on my face. Besides, I love blush anyway, so it's not like it's a big deal. Blush is like my favorite thing. I love blush, as long as it's not coral blush. Has to be pink with some kind of pretty undertone. So there we go, there's that. And then I used the Wet n Wild Color Icon Reserve Your Cabana, which is freaking huge. Look how big that is compared to the blush. Just to strobe, if you will. It's so funny because now strobing is a big trend, right? Yet MAC has a product called Strobe Cream that has been in the market forever. I know because I bought it way back when. I repurchase it every time I run out. I love that stuff. It's like the base for my makeup. And yeah, it's called Strobe Cream, which it strobes your skin. So it makes it, you know, very highlighted and pretty. So yeah, I'm just going to strobe. I'm not actually contouring my face today, which I have not done in a long time, but I'm feeling lately like if it's for every day, I don't really need to. I do like my contour real strong when I am out, like for the weekends. So here's the Reserve Your Cabana, and then I just get a brush and I'm going to strobe. So you put it here, you put it here, you put it here, up here, right here, and you strobe. You see the lights, they're going around and around and around, they're picking up a highlight because I'm strobing, can you see me across Houston? Yeah, strobing, nothing new. Nothing new. It's a technique that, yeah, it's been around before contouring. We highlighted pretty much everything because there was only highlighting powders and there were bronzers and nothing really for contour unless you were super smart and you used your matte MAC eyeshadow as a contour, which, yeah, my nose has been contoured for centuries. Not centuries, but decades. Anyway, so there we go. And then to set everything, I took the Maybelline Dream Matte Powder. This is in the shade Light. And set. Now, I don't even know if this product's still available, but it was in my makeup. Notice how I used products that I like very rarely use because everything that I use is like always out on my counter and I have to go into my makeup stash to get anything new or if I want to do like a certain look. So I've been kind of conscious about pulling things out and using them lately because I just forget about them. They'll stay in the drawers in the closet and that's it. So yeah, this was in there and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use the rest of that up for a setting powder. And then I'll go buy a new one because, yeah, my MAC one ran out. And I thought, well, I'll use this one before I purchase another one. Then I did the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara, another thing that I need to use up. And on my eyelids, I've got the Maybelline Chai Latte eyeshadow quad. And I use every shade with the exception of this color. And this is a perfect dupe for MAC's Woodwinked, which they look a lot alike. But I very rarely use Woodwinked, and so this one I don't use really ever, like at all. I use these other three for my like everyday neutral lid. This is my highlight, of course, this in my crease, and then this in the outer kind of swooped in. And it's very light, very pretty though. It just looks really natural. So there is my face of the day. I need a lip, don't I? I need something on my lips. Let me go into my bag and grab something here. Because I'm so pale that I need something. Okay, here's my lip balm. Burt's Bees. And, of course, there's nothing worthy of being worn. Here's my Royalty Cream Sheen. Okay. Which my son kind of okay, so that's Max of Royalty. They got like royally messed up. Yeah, so this is my completed face. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This corrector has become part of my everyday routine just because of the dark circles. And as a new mother, someone who, not a new mother, I mean, come on, I've got 2 kids, but as the mother of a newborn, this came in handy. I've had this since my daughter was born, literally. It was the first makeup product that I purchased after her birth because I just felt like my skin needed help. I needed corrector, you know, stuff under my concealer because it just was not concealing the way that it had before I had the baby. So yeah, this has come in handy so much. Like I said, the only 2 shades, well, these 3 shades are shades that I have not used. That's not to say that I won't. I want to try and use this for a contour and then this to kind of blend that contour out. But eventually I'll get to that. Right now I just use these shades as my correctors. So thank you so much for watching and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.